never slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. Everything I do so instinctive and so passionate. Every word I move so descriptive like an adjective. I got a vendetta against people who patented being negative when you should be getting after it. I got facts over tracks, this and that. Spitting slow, spitting fast. I could roast, I could gas. Think I'm okay at last, but I don't know if that can erase all the past. And the pettiness, a reflection of the emptiness. Hilarious, you think you're worth my time, you're delirious. Mysterious, because you hide behind a fake exterior. Inferior, you know I'll always be a bit superior. Get off of me, this ain't no humble brag. I want you to hear words, you can say them back. I want you to feel free from the chains at last, and to believe in what you got, it was built to last, yeah. Now that I've been put through hell, I never got anyone's help. I had to do it all myself. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. Gonna learn the consequence of being incompetent. Mental health is confidence, dreams and some honestness. I'm not here to save the day, that's for you to take away. I could play a million mind games, but instead I say something not illogical, something that is topical. Rub it on and watch it go, make yourself unstoppable. Dreams are irresponsible, but they're always possible. If you just believe, you could be so remarkable. Thoughts in my head, a collage and they spread. I'll be great one day, going off of my meds. No, I'm not giving up, no, I'm not giving in. I will make it to the top, taking off in the wind. I gotta make it, I'm saving every day to taste it. I'm patient, but my mind, it can hardly take it. I'm chasing a dream that I've had for several ages. A vacant, modern kingdom for the taking. Now that I've been put through hell, I never got anyone's help. I had to do it all myself. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up.
Hey guys, how is everyone? It's been a hot minute since I've been over here. I apologize. As y'all know, this is my busy season at Christmas, and took on a new business adventure with my vendor event, and my husband's ready to hurt me. I hope everybody's doing good. Hope everybody is doing good. There's a new thing with this, with StreamYard, where I'm in vertical mode and I'm in regular mode. So there are two screens up here. I'm looking at a little bitty screen over here and the big screen over here, and I have no idea what's going on. Bear with me as I figure that out. I may be looking at it weird through the night. Hope y'all can hear me. Can you hear me? Lord, I hope so. I'm over here talking away. My guest had a family emergency. They think things are calming down. If they get that fixed, she'll be here. If not, we're just going to continue because I can do this. Even though I would rather have her here, I can do it without her. Let's see if y'all can hear me. Yep, y'all can. Okay, good. Anyways, I hope you guys are having a great start to December. Hope you're getting ready for Christmas and spreading some Christmas cheer and being nice to people. Those of you that have messaged me today about some stuff that came out in the Gypsyverse, things that Fancy was sharing, I think it was today or last night, I don't know. I will get to that, not tonight. Tonight is about Curtis and Jennifer, and I'm going to respect that case and not muddle it up with drama. So I will respond to that. I think some of y'all are going to be kind of shocked with what I have to say on that, but it's okay. I will get to that, just not tonight, or at least during this live. And I have a new mic, so I'm hoping sound's picking up good. I don't know if y'all can see it. See, I bought a pretty mic because I wanted a pretty purple mic, and I got me a pretty purple mic, and it's got stuff that I don't know. I don't know how to use it, so we'll see. Leave it to me to go, oh, let's try a new mic. I want to go live without practicing first. Okay, so let me get this link real quick. Let me go grab this. Yeah, let's do it this way. If you are not in this group that I'm about to share right here is the Facebook group for the case that we are about to discuss. Um, please join that group. There a lot of the information I'm going to talk about is in that group. Uh, some of it I have that I know is not. I don't know that is in that group. It comes from conversations I had as I started this case. Um, this family has become people I truly care about. Angie is an advocate now. She's not a paid advocate, but she is an advocate for missing in Pike County. And she works really, really hard at getting that information out there. She is the cousin to Curtis Francis, who was one of the victims we're going to talk about tonight. Um, I met Angie 5 years ago, 6 years ago. Oh, wow. Girlfriend in 2019. When I first left the fancy and the by proxy team to do my own thing, I was kind of not sure what I was going to do, how I was going to do it, where I was going with any of it. And a person who supported me and Fancy said, Brandy, I found this case. Nobody's talking about this case. I think you could do this case. So I did do a podcast. Me and my friend Dawn did a podcast uh, way back when. It is rough. I need to go back and redo it because I had no idea what I was doing and I just did the case. But we went in the group. I started looking into the information. I talked to people. Angie and I became friends instantly. And this case just dug its way into my heart. Some of these cases you just go, ugh. And with it being a cold case, it's even harder. Today is the 19th year that these two beautiful souls were taken from us. And this family has suffered. They are not getting answers. They do not understand why they're not getting answers. We think we know where this case is and where it should be, but we don't know why it's not. And I'm going to get into a lot of that tonight. Hopefully, I can get into as much of it as I can. Um, please feel free to ask questions if you're in the chat. Ask me some questions if you have questions about the case, um, because sometimes I might forget something and you ask it, it's going to spur my memory. Oh yeah. So in looking into this case, one of the people who has a connection to the case, who is actually in prison for a separate murder. His mother, Paula, rest her soul, she has passed away. Just 3 years ago, I think 4 years ago. Um, and she gave me a ton of information. It's in that computer that I've got to get up that I keep telling you all about. That's got stuff from Gypsy's case too. Uh, that as I dug through it, I mean, the stack was like this thick of papers, just emails and documents and things that she had masked. She wanted me to prove her son's innocence. And I told her then, if you give me this information and it shows that he's innocent, I'll say that 100%. Sadly, with what she's given me or what she had given me, it didn't give me that inkling at all. It actually solidified how I kind of felt on this case. And now Paula gave me names. She gave me names of a couple that were supposedly allegedly on the hill for and witnessed the other murder, Paul Shoppe's murder, which is what Eric is in prison for. I contacted those people. Um, they were supposed to have information about who was actually there. There was somebody else there. It wasn't Eric. Uh, in my honest opinion, I believe Eric was there with somebody else, and I think that same person was involved in the Curtis and Francis case. She also gave me the phone number to an officer who worked Paul's case in this case, and he was now retired. He was ready to speak. He had all the information and he was ready to give things out. And I called him. First time he wasn't there, they told me when to call back. And I don't know who it was. I was very upfront. I called when they told me to call back. He got on the phone. He said, "Now, who are you again?" And I told him. And he said, "I have nothing to say." And he hung up. And I told Paula, I said, "Paula, I mean, all these people you want me to call, nobody wants to talk, but you're telling me they want to talk. So I don't know what I'm supposed to be proving here. You need to get me on the phone with these people if they have the information." She said she was going to do that, and then it never happened. So sadly, none of those leads panned out. So what we have is on hi inside the purple purse. Long time no see, honey. How are you? I hope you're good. Um, on December 9th of 2006, Curtis Francis and Jennifer Burgette were found in their home in their bed, murdered. They had been shot in their home. Jennifer's father is the one that found them. I think it was like about 2 o'clock that afternoon. And what we know is the night before they were at a home and they were doing what people do in the country and in the city. They were partying, they were having some drinks, smoking some weed, whatever. Um, Jennifer got irritated, from what I'm understanding, by a few things, and she leaves. She was supposed to be going to her parents' home. A little bit later, Curtis leaves. He goes home. What we were told from, and I'm going to pull these witness statements up. He was friends with one of the men there that is the boyfriend of Mama Howe is what I'm gonna call her. It was Mama Howe and her children and this boy, or boy, excuse me, man. He was an adult man. He was friends with Curtis. Evidently, Curtis was supposed to owe them some money or pills or something involving drugs along those lines. And she wanted them to go collect. And according to the statements, James Howe, I don't know if he's the oldest or the youngest, Howe brother, uh, leaves with Eric, says, "You're coming with me to do this." They go and they use a gun inside Kurt's home, and that gun come up missing. A bottle of pills come up missing. I believe that was it. I could be wrong there. And look, if I forget names, please forgive me. Menopause brain is a real thing. They don't really tell you that. Now I'm screaming it. Menopause brain is a real thing. So there are a lot of names that I do forget now that if I don't have it written down, and I meant to write all my little notes down and I did not get to that today. So I apologize. That and I was expecting Angie to be here and she keeps me on my toes with names. So um they go back to the home. They change their clothes. They're covered in blood. They burn the clothing. They take the clothing and the weapons and they throw them down a well. And everybody goes about their business. A few months later, of course, this was in December, and a few months later, Paul Shoppe is murdered. And, or a year later, might have been a year later. I don't remember what Paul Shoppe's. If you're in the chat, and you know when Paul, let me look it up. Let me look it up. Let's get the right. And of course, hang on. Let's go over here. Let me just pull these documents up. So I am going to read those in a second. Okay, here we go. If you're one that follows me, do not send me anything on Messenger right now because it'll pop up on the screen. Um, Hello, Bonnie. Welcome to the channel. Bonnie says, I remember this all too well. I lived right across the road. I'm friends with Angie, Sue Ann, and Jenny's family. I pray daily for justice for Curtis and Jenny. Thank you so much for joining us. Um, do me a favor because I did not know Curtis and Jenny. Um, Tell us a little bit, what were they like? Tell us about their personalities and what they like to do, and, I love to get that kind of sign because I think that we forget that there were real people involved in these cases, and since it's been 19 years, they're forgotten, and that is the part that sucks and what I hate about this, and so drop us some comments, if you will, about what they were like, what they like to do, their personalities. Were they quirky? Were they serious? Anything that pops into your mind. Let's remember them today because today is their day, in my opinion. And I know Angie told me earlier the family was having a really hard time today. And she was too. She had been in tears on and off all day. And then she had a family emergency this evening. So, um, she, she's just having a day. So Bonnie says Kurt was outgoing and Jenny was like me. She stayed to herself. Okay. Complete opposite. So that kinda works in a couple because if you're both outgoing, then you drive each other crazy, and if you both wanna stay at home, you're gonna get on each other's nerves just as much. And when, so, um, I know in the pictures that are on the Facebook group, Kurt is fishing and, out doing things, and Jenny seemed like she was with family and, more to herself that way, so that does track with the pictures that they have. Um, and I mean, in the pictures, it looks like Kurt has red hair, and let's just, redheads are their own breed. Yeah, we get in trouble easily. So let's pull this up. Um, this is in the Facebook group. All of these documents that I'm going to show you guys are in the Facebook group. This here's an interview with Corey Howe, which is James Howe's brother, and this is where they have a lot of their information about this. Mr. Howe was interviewed and there are the written statements in the group, but y'all, their handwriting sucks, and you can't make out what it says. So I figured we would just read these. Mr. Howe was interviewed at the Orient Correction Center, where he is awaiting prison placement, having been convicted of drug abuse. Mr. Howes was sentenced to serve 11 months in prison, but will be eligible for early release in October. Mr. Howes is the younger brother of James Howe, who was good friends of Eric's. Corey's reports the following. Number one, Corey and his family had been abusing and selling illegal drugs as long as he can remember. Corey first tried marijuana at the age of 6 when he smoked his first blunt. Corey grew up with the understanding that drug dealing was a way of life, a way to make money. He states that he and his brother James and later Eric, on occasion, did odd jobs collecting welfare and sold drugs. Let me come back over here. I'm not on the same page, so I'm not seeing you guys if you're chatting. So if you're saying anything, don't be discouraged. I'll be right back and we'll get to it. Um, Number two, Corey says Eric and James, Corey's brother, knew each other from high school. And when Eric came back to town, he and James began hanging out more and more. Eventually, Eric became involved in the House family pharmaceutical business. Number three, Corey reports that he, as in Eric, used marijuana, crack cocaine, morphine patches, and a various assortment of pills. Now, all of this is alleged. This is part of Corey's statement. So we can't verify any of this other than this was a statement that Corey gave law enforcement. Number four, Corey states that his family's house acted as a distribution center for all of the various street dealers in the area. And while he did not know Paul Shoppe well, Shoppe did make visits to the house to purchase various assortments of quantities of drugs. Corey says Shoppe was a coke dealer and that he once personally sold Shoppe a 50-piece crack. Corey's family may be longtime drug dealers, but he states that they are not alone, that there are plenty of people dealing drugs in Pike County. So let me just give a warning statement. Some of this may be triggering information for people. Um, if it does get too intense, please step away. Take a minute, come back. Um, we don't want anybody to um, be affected by any of the information that we're sharing tonight. Okay, number 5, Corey states that Paul Shoppe owed Eric $400 or $500 for the purchase of morphine patches, and that this debt had for some time gone unpaid, to where Eric finally got tired of waiting. Corey believes Shoppe had no intention of paying the debt, and so Eric killed him. Number 6, Corey was in the county jail and awaiting sentencing for drug abuse charges when Eric was arrested and put in jail. At first, Corey was not in the same pod as Eric, but that changed after Corey was involved in an altercation and relocated. At some point, Eric told him that he killed Paul Shoppe, but it actually was not the first time Eric confessed to him. Shortly after the murder, Corey and Eric happened to run into each other outside the local library. Corey asked Eric if he killed Shoppe, to which Eric confessed that he had. See, and here is written statements, and as you can see, this writing sucks. Um, so, so we have here. Okay, that is going to be the proper letters. We are going to get to those. Okay, number 7. In addition to his willingness to testify against Eric for the Shoppe murder, Corey also offered up his mother, brother, and Eric for a double homicide some time ago. Corey told the police that the male victim in the shooting was at the house partying and that all the players were there, just as the Shoppe murder. There was disagreement between the victims and the house posse over the non-payment of the drug money. The male victim's girlfriend showed up some point demanding that he come home, to which he complied. Approximately 15 minutes after his departure, James and Eric left the house with a rifle. They returned sometime later with blood splatter on their clothing. Corey's mother told them to clean up, but their clothes was burned, and their clothes were burned. Corey asked his brother what happened, but got no reply. Number 8. Corey states that the police and or prosecutor told him he'd get probation for the drug abuse charge as a reward for her cooperation, but while out on bond, Corey was arrested for domestic violence and the deal was apparently rescinded. While he was on the outside, the police did attempt to use him as an informant. Sheriff Detective Larry Travis came to his house, told him to wear a wire, and sent him to make drug buy. Corey felt he had no choice but to cooperate. Only problem was that Detective Travis parked right across the street from the suspected dealer's home. The dealer quickly spotted the unmarked Crown Victoria, and Corey had to make a hasty retreat. Corey House, having seen the errors of his ways, not really. Corey is in the world for himself. He is still very willing to take any deal the police deem fit to offer, even if it will only subtract an hour from his prison sentence. During our conversation, Corey figured out that he will probably be offered early release in October, just in time to testify against Horn, knocking 3 months off his sentence, and he will gladly accept. So we have Corey's statement. We have a girlfriend of one of the guys who, and I'm gonna get confused. One was with Corey, now with James, or with James and now with Corey. I don't know. She's bounced around. There's a statement from her as well to these effects that fit Corey's statement about Eric and James leaving and the rifle. Uh, I, I mean, these people are obviously criminals, in my opinion, and looking at the record. So, uh, can you take their word as gospel? It fits, right? You kinda have to take it with a grain of salt. I mean, they could be trying to sell their soul just to save their ass, but at the same time, it could be legit. I don't know that saying all that for an hour off of your time fits. I think that I could see it if he was trying to get all of his stuff completely removed, and then we could say, well, he's making it up just to save his own ass, but was he saving his ass? I mean, mm. And I'd like to know, Bonnie, maybe you may not feel comfortable saying. If you feel comfortable saying, that would be great. Are the Howes still in this kind of behavior now that they're all out of prison? Because James was in and got out. Mrs. Howe has passed away. I don't remember when that happened. Recently, within the last couple of years. So I'm curious to know if they're all still in the same kind of behavior they were at this time, or if things have changed. I mean, that make you think. And if you're a wine drinker, the House of the Dragon Chardonnay wine, really good. I keep forgetting I haven't tried that one yet. Um, so there's a lot of testimony testimonial statements in the group. And I had a lot of them. I don't know if all that I had are in the group. I had so many. Okay, so you don't know them. Okay, no worries. Thank you for answering. I know living in smaller areas, sometimes you don't want to say too much, and so I get that. Um, there were rumors. I remember talking to Sue about Paul's murder, and um, they were told by somebody that Paul was working undercover, and that's what got him killed. So, um, the cop that showed up was really close by when this happened. Is it possible? Absolutely. Do we know? We're not gonna know. They're not gonna say any of that, because then they didn't protect him, and then they could be liable. Now, if you're familiar at all with the Roden murders, that's same area, same part of Ohio. There is a sheriff that was involved with all of that. Charlie Reeder. You can look him up. He was involved in that case. He ended up being charged. Lord, I don't remember all of the charges. There were a lot. I want to say 15 charges. Um, and he only got 3 years. I think he pleaded down. But he was involved with this case too. And I remember when he was arrested and charged with, oh Lord, I don't even remember let me see if I can find what it was. Why I didn't look that up, I don't know. Because that to me plays a big part here. But when he was arrested and all this happened, Angie and I had many conversations about, new sheriff coming in. My God, please let that mean somebody's going to do something. Um, let's see. So, for him that he was long record sentenced public officials to prison. Also pointed out that he pleaded guilty in September to 2 counts of theft of office, fourth-degree felonies, 2 counts of tampering with evidence, third-degree felonies, and 1 count of conflict of interest, which is a first-degree misdemeanor. Uh, and he was given 3 years. But when all this went down with him, we really hoped a new sheriff was coming in. We were kind of led to believe that they were coming in to make changes and Angie had been told there's going to be progress in this case. We're going to make this a focus again. This case is solvable. They did not do that. So now, while Eric is prison or he's been arrested for Shoppe, and they are working on plea deals and all of that. I think these are, let's see. All right, so let me just add these. We're just gonna open them up and read them. Let's see. So this here is from Greg Myers. To several people there. It's really hard to read. We need to meet early in the week of August 25th to discuss Horn status. We have a pre-trial for 6/29. I'm open Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday plus Thursday morning. I realize Justin's OSC argument may prevent him from attending a meeting. Ooh, that is blurry. Let's see. I was thinking this might have something in it, but I don't think it does. Paul Scorsese called me this morning, 8:22 of 08. He said that the state continues to work on pinning the double murder on Eric, but that they almost certainly will not be ready to indict him by the current October trial date. He will send us some, but not all, of the state's info on the double murder early next week. He said the state thinks he knows 2 persons were involved in committing the double homicide, and they think Eric was one of them. With respecting to the pending case, Paul said that the state may offer a deal tied to Eric's willingness to proffer info on the unsolved double homicide. I pressed him a bit on the idea of an offer. He said he'll contact Rob Junk and try to put something more detailed on the table early next week. So we have that. There is that little letter. Let's go to this one. So here are some more proper letters. So here's Greg Myers, September 17th of 2008. Let's see. Let's go all the way down. This one was the first email. Hold on. I want to get all of the emails in there. It's not going to be that. It's not going to be that. Where's that other page? Okay. It's going to be there. All right. So let me do this. Let's go. It's going to be that. I'm probably going to read these out of order because of how they're on here. Oh, this stupid thing. All right. Make sure it's showing. It is. And I know that is very small for y'all. Let me try to. All right. So, yeah, I'm going to start at the bottom and I'll have to go to that other page and then I'll go to these others because I don't know that we'll understand it if I don't. So this one is from Paul Scorsella to Greg Myers, which I believe is Eric's attorney, replying, possible plea deal. Thanks for getting back to me on this. I am interested in speaking to Mr. Horn about the double under a proper situation. However, I do not believe a flat time sentence would be appropriate based on the shop homicide alone. I would be willing to consider the count of murder with a gun for the shop homicide, and depending on what he has to say about the double, we would probably be more interested in him as a witness than a defendant. In a life tale is totally if a life tale is totally out of the question, there probably isn't much to talk about. Oh, I should have read. No, I said I was going to read this one. Why did I go all the way to the bottom? I don't know. Look, it's fine. So this down here on the very bottom is the first email. Here's a little disclaimer up front in case you hit the lottery and I wind up with another AG on this case. To err on the side of caution, given Mr. Horn's potential exposure, I want to start by saying that these remarks are made in the context of plea negotiations and to the extent that they may reflect things I have heard from Mr. Horn and attorney client privilege conversation. And it says, my comments stand at most as a sketch of a possible proffer of Mr. Horn's behalf. What I say here are not admissions made as an agent of the client. As I understand it, my comments are made in the context of a plea discussion you initiated. Thus, my comments could not be used against Mr. Horn in the state's case in chief in any prosecution. So, what he's saying there is, look, I'm going to give you some of this information, but because of what we're trying to do, you can't use it against my client. Basically, um, it's a almost like a attorney-client privilege in the same context of official to official. I think the odds are good that we can resolve Mr. Horn's pending and possible cases, i.e., the Paul Shoppe indictment and the possible double homicide involving Kurt and Jenny. As I recall, when we were last in court, you proposed resolving these issues with two murders to run concurrently. I propose a counteroffer at the end of this email. From our end, it seems that your impressions of Mr. Horn's exposure regarding Mr. Shoppe may be more on target than your perception of his involvement in the double homicide. To the extent you are interested in solving the double homicide, Mr. Horn can provide very critical eyewitness evidence pointing at James Howe as the perpetrator of those murders. Were Mr. Horn to provide a proffer, he would likely say that although he did not know Howe's intended to murder the victims, he suspected trouble was afoot when House asked Mr. Horn to drive him to the victim's residence. More remains to be said about what happened if we agree to a formal proffer, but based on what Mr. Horn tells us, it may be Corey Howe's sketched some facts to improve his deal. Stretched some facts, sorry. Mr. Horn remains very concerned that were he to provide information implicating James Howe, his loved ones would be in peril at the hands of James Howe and his family members. Based on what Mr. Horn has seen and experienced at the hand of the house, Mr. Horn almost died after they cut him and he had to be life flighted to a Columbus hospital. These are valid concerns. It is not clear to us whether there is a satisfactory way to guard against any concerns that James House, his family members, or their allies in the criminal underground would violently retaliate against Mr. Horn or his loved ones. With respect in a final resolution, are you open to possibly resolving these issues with a plea agreement whereby Mr. Horn would receive a flat time sentence in the range of 20 years? And two, Mr. Horn's mother would not be prosecuted for any conduct related to Mr. Shop's death. If so, then I suggest we promptly schedule a proper meeting and aim to resolve all of these issues as soon as possible. So then we go back to this email here, which I had read where he says he is, but he's not going to do the flat time. Um, Paul, a court of murder with a gun spec is not out of question. I am very optimistic that we will be able to resolve the Shop case short of trial. Hold on. Oh, throat's dry. I'd like to move forward with a proffer on the double homicide incident with the aim to resolve both the Shop incident and any exposure Horn may have regarding the double homicide. Your schedule is far more hectic than mine right now, so I defer to your suggested time frame in arranging a proper meeting. Since we told Judge Deering we would know whether the Shop case would resolve or go to trial when we're next in court on September 25th, do you think we should press ahead with Rob Junk alone? Also, we are available Saturday or Sunday if that fits your schedule. So here we see they are working at a proffer for a plea deal because of the testimony that they have from Corey, from what Horn himself has told his attorney, and the fact that, and I'm going to show you those pictures where he's talking about being beat up, cut up. Um, Eric had been running his mouth, evidently had run his mouth to a few people, and it kind of got back to the house that he was talking and that he was kind of feeling guilty about this double homicide. So let me go find the picture. They call him over. He gets there. They say he was there to rob them. I do not think that's what it was. I think it's exactly what they say it is, that he showed up and they called him for one thing, telling him one thing, and it was because he was running his mouth. Um, and here you can see he was evidently beat with a big glass ashtray. I mean, he's got a lot of stitches in his head. Um, his arm here where he was cut. You can see that here as well. There, top of his head and this arm here. Uh, they had to life flight him to another hospital for this incident. So he had every right to be concerned that running his mouth and doing the right thing was going to cost his family. I, I have no doubt. Um, why did I not go find the Jody bar? I thought there was a longer one of these. Let's see. Okay, I'm going to drop this in the chat. This right here is there's probably more, but this is what's there now that Jody Barr did. Jody Barr actually interviewed the house and a lot of other people. He did amazing work. Please go check him out, give him a view, give him a thumbs up. There's probably even more on Facebook from him. Think about where I'm at here. I hate it when I do that. That's why I was hoping Angie was gonna be here. Um, there were rumors that Eric's mother had washed blood away, hid clothes. When it came to the Paul Shoppe murder, there was neighbors that were, I believe, highway patrolmen who witnessed him come and go at a certain time. Uh, there was evidently blood and clothing that she just got rid of, cleaned out her garage. She did a lot of things. There was a girl that wore wire to get information from Eric about the Paul Shoppe murder. Um, and there was some stuff with that that was kind of crazy. And it's weird because you almost can't talk about the Hopper Road case about Kurt and Jenny without Paul Shaw, because if it was not for Paul Shaw, I don't know that we would know anything, because nobody would be in jail to run their mouth other than the rumor mill. I mean, rumor mill in a small town. So I was told by Paula that Eric took the plea deal about the Shop murder because to protect her, because they were threatening to put her in jail. And he did it just to protect her, that he was innocent of all of it, and he, needed to um just protect his mother, and that was the only reason. Maybe. Maybe that's why he did it. The- But the evidence that they had showed that it was him. So, um a couple of years ago, Lord, I don't remember what year it was. Oh, let me text Angie. And I should be more prepared. I apologize. Uh, Running a business and trying to get moved, and it's Christmas time. It's the only excuse I got. Um, 2016? I think it was 2016. Um, so a few years back, I believe it was 2016. I may have that time wrong. I'm waiting for Angie to text me back. Um, uh, Kurt's brother was now at the home. He had bought the home that the house had lived on Wynn Road, and he's seen this electrical wire running from inside the home out through, the yard. So he's tracing it, trying to figure out where it's going to, and it's all covered up. And it dawns on him it's a well, and he realizes what he may have found. And they bring out equipment, and they run the video equipment, camera equipment, whatever it was, down into the well. They see burned clothing and a rifle, and I believe a handgun. Those things are very vivid in the pictures. Kurt's mother saw it, so did his brother. So these geniuses decide, oh, let's bring the fire department in and we'll run water into the well and the stuff will come up and we can get it because it was too far down to get. So let's just damage evidence with water. Burned clothing was going to survive water, right? Makes total sense to me. When they did that, it blew out the bottom of the well and everything went further down into the ground and in the mud and the water. And now Angie and them at one time had a company that was willing to come out and dig up all of it for free. But they wanted law enforcement out there for obvious reasons, chain of custody. And law enforcement would never schedule it to do it. So the weapon, if you remember correctly, that was a rifle that killed Kurt and Jenny. Um, we have the testimony that they burned clothing and got rid of the clothing and the weapons all on that property. And so with the testimony of Corey wouldn't have known this when he was telling, that they were gonna find it in the well. So that was 2 different years, completely different years of when the testimony was given and the stuff was found. So it matches. That that gives some weight and credit to what Corey said. Um, then you have different things that Eric has told people, what's said in his proffer letter, um, but now the weapon's gone. There's no weapon, because they're at the well, flushed out to God knows where. And it just dawned on me, I don't know if you're talking on, yeah, because you're on, Bonnie's on, um, looks like on the vertical. Okay. Okay. I wasn't sure because I haven't paid any attention to the vertical stuff. I just know everybody talks about it. Um, so we have these weapons and this clothing, which would be evidence that has now been obliterated. Why? Why would law enforcement do that? That to me is sketch and really gives you more questions than we already had. So that was, I believe that was 2016. Angie, she was that? No. So what we could have used to go forward is now gone. They had the statements. They have Eric's words. You have people that have been in and out of jail and prison and in trouble who obviously are sketchy people. So I don't know why law enforcement never went forward with this. I mean, most of the time they want the win. They would rather have the win on their belt than all these unsolved cases. So why did they not do more work? Why have they not, since they've gotten new sheriffs and new different officials in the city and in the county, why have they not gone forward? They had told Angie they were, and that things were going to be looked at, that BCI was supposed to be coming in, different things, and nothing has happened. Nothing. It's been 19 years, and Kurt and Jenny have no answers and no justice. We have the answers. I honestly believe what we have is that it's exactly what it was. James Howe and Eric Horn got in the vehicle that night, drove to the house, which was a couple of minutes away, like 5 minutes, to get what they wanted and took their lives. Now, could it be how Eric said, and that how it was said in there, that he was the driver and that was all he did? Yeah, it's possible. I'll give you that. It's very possible. But you're still guilty. So to me, to me this case is very easy. Very easy. So I don't know why law enforcement's not doing anything. I don't know why they're not going forward with this case. Especially when people were already in prison. James got out a couple years ago. Unless he's back in. Hell, he may be back in. I don't know. So why? That makes no sense to me. Makes no sense whatsoever. None. It just doesn't. It just doesn't. So you've got a mother who has done the hardest thing in our lives as a mother, bearing her children. Not just bearing their child because they died from a disease, but because they were stolen. They were viciously stolen from her. You've got Jenny's family, the same thing. And I have a lot of questions there, but I don't have anywhere to go with it, so I'm just not going there right now. Maybe at some point Angie will and I can, um, but why do we not have answers? What law enforcement's been involved? That's where I'm gonna go with it. What law enforcement's been involved making money off of these drug runs, this drug activity? Makes you wonder. It's the only thing. It doesn't, because anything else just doesn't make sense at all. Let's see. Anything else I wanted to show in here? I really Y'all really go join the group. Go read through all of this stuff because there is so much in here. It's just really hard to. Um, is this one? Oh, that's on different investigations. Sorry, guys. I'm just opening all of this up to kind of see if I've missed anything that I need to read through with you guys. Oh, we can do this. Yeah, let's do this. Let's see what else is right here. Let's do this. So we have this here. Couple fatally shot. The bodies of Curtis Francis and Jennifer Burgette, each with one gunshot wound, were found in their residence at 124 Hopper Road on Saturday. This here. The last place Kurt was seen alive, Wynn Road in Piketon, Ohio. 2006, the occupants of the house at the time were Robin House, James House, Kevin Prater, and Corey House. So this was the home. It's also the same home where they had the cameras go down into the well. This right here. The well where two guns were hidden deep inside. They are still there. I'm very interested in hearing theories and opinions on this topic. So down here, into this area here, kind of been boarded up some. So yeah, there's stuff there to prove it. There's stuff there to go forward. It's never too late. It's never too late. I highly suggest people start calling Pike County, flooding the DA's office with phone calls, with emails, demanding that they look at this information and put pressure on them. They need to have pressure put on them because there's no reason why we have nothing. None whatsoever. But alrighty. I think we're kinda at the end. I was kinda hoping Angie would make it, but be praying for her and her family. Not only is it 19-year anniversary of Kurt and Jenny's murder, she had another family emergency and needs our prayers. She just needs our prayers. I'm not gonna give any information away. But if she wants to come back live later or tomorrow, we can do that too. If there's things that she would like to share and add to what I have shared tonight. If so, I'll post in the group to let you guys know that this is where we'll be. Thank you all for being here with me. I appreciate it. You are valued, and it means the world to me that you've given me the hour that you have tonight um, to listen to me ramble. And I hope you come back. Hope you come back. I do true crime and drama. You never know what's happening. I've got some things I've got to address, but I'll do it another time. Anyways, you guys have a great night. If I do not talk to any of you before Christmas, Merry Christmas. Be safe. Enjoy your families. Make those memories because time is short. And I'm going to call it a night, guys. Hold on. Where's my outro video? Oh, God, that got removed. Hold on. There it is. All right, guys. Good night. Have a good
I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement.
Everything I do so instinctive and so passionate. Every word I move so descriptive like an adjective. I got a vendetta against people who patented being negative when you should be getting after it. I got facts over tracks, this and that. Spitting slow, spitting fast. I could roast, I could gas. Think I'm okay at last, but I don't know if that can erase all the past.
And the pettiness, a reflection of the emptiness. Hilarious, you think you're worth my time, you're delirious. Mysterious, because you hide behind a fake exterior. Inferior, you know I'll always be a bit superior. Get off of me, this ain't no humble brag. I want you to hear words, you can say them back. I want you to feel free from the chains at last, and to believe in what you